So we're not going to say what movie, but it looks like a movie. But I will say you're going to see 18 minutes of really, from a capabilities perspective, what the power of an F-35 is. So keep in mind that just because an aircraft has certain capabilities, they may not use those in an operation or whatever. So the whole intent of showing the F-35 is just to show what it's capable of. And it's pretty amazing stuff.
No, that's absolutely right. And for a pilot like her that is so skilled, her expertise is just off the charts. What will she be? What's going through her mind as she's starting to fly this today?
Yeah, I think it's just, she told us this morning, actually, like they follow really, just from a safety perspective, they have a script that's tightly, monitored and followed. She's talking to a pilot on the ground. There you see her taking off here for the start of the F-35 demonstration. So we're about to get to the good stuff here. So she's going to fly out and around. There you go. She's going straight up. So she's already pulling some G's. So this is where the camera crew really makes their money, trying to follow that. But look at that. Isn't that a beautiful sight?
It is beautiful. Wow. So the F-35 capable of what, 9 Gs? Is that what you told me?
9 Gs.
Which it was like what if you're the person flying that plane?
So it's gonna be like around 1,500 pounds on your chest.
Wow.
I mean, and I don't even know that you could even imagine that, right? Like that doesn't even seem like I couldn't make that up if I tried.
No, that's true.
Yeah. So pretty amazing stuff here.
And what's incredible is they have to have the skills to fly the plane, but they also have to be in just tip-top physical shape, don't they?
Yeah, and that's a huge part, and that's something that they embed right at the start when they're in pilot training down in Air Education and Training Command, understanding that it's not just getting in an airplane and flying. Got a little afterburner right there.
Love it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't have the stats right in front of me, but that's a lot of thrust and torque going on right there. I'm sure any pilot out there in the crowd is definitely appreciating that right now. But yeah, getting back to what you talked about with physical performance, like, they have to get the proper nutrition. They have to sleep. They're like high-performance athletes.
They're world-class athletes.
They are. They're the best in the world at what they do. And you think about, the Jazz there in Salt Lake City, like Donovan Mitchell has to get ready for every single game and be ready to rock and roll. And that means after a game, he's going home, he's hydrating, he's sleeping. Right. Same thing. When they're about to get in this cockpit, they got to be at their highest potential, to fly this plane at the very limits of its capabilities. So that was cool.
It's cool. I mean, for lack of a better adjective.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. That was cool. Or that was fire. I don't know. Is that what the kids say now? So.
Exactly.
Oh, man, that was awesome. But, yeah, it's pretty impressive to see, how, think of the focus that you have to have, and that's why the Air Force has such a need for people who are interested in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, because think of all the things, the calculations that she is constantly running in her head. Mm-hmm. I mean, this plane goes to Mach 1.6. 1,200 miles an hour.
That's insane.
That's
I'm glad
incredible.
We're telling you what that is, how fast, because I didn't actually know. Like 1.6.
Yeah, no, I had to look. I looked up Mach, and that was like, they said it was like anything over 750 miles an hour is basically breaking the sound barrier. So pretty impressive. I can't even imagine.
No.
She's not breaking the sound barrier right now, but she's going really fast. Yeah, so, we've talked a little bit about it, but the stealth aspects of this are just incredible. And, when it comes to strategic competition against, our nation's adversaries like Russia, China, this is the kind of technology and capability that allows us to stay the superpower that the United States is and to be able to fly, fight, and win. So, I mean, it's just incredible. There's nobody in the world who can match these kind of capabilities.
No, it's true. So the Air Force's premier fighter jet, that's the F-35 Lightning, right? That's what we call it. Okay. It says high impact, maximum velocity, seat of your pants, thrill ride for all ages. Although very few people actually get to go inside. So this magnificent multi-role stealth combat aircraft is by far, and this is kind of what we've been talking about, the most superior fighter jet the world has ever laid eyes on. The F-35 is the first operational supersonic fighter jet capable of reaching 1.6 Mach. What does supersonic fighter mean?
Well, you're breaking the sound barrier.
Okay.
Yeah, she's not. I don't know how close she is to breaking the sound barrier today. Usually, you break a sound barrier. That's going to hurt some people's eardrums.
Well, yeah, the booms are a lot of fun, though.
Yeah.
So Captain Kristen Beowulf from the 388th Fighter Squadron, that's who's flying this right now. And she's right here at oh my gosh, help me.
She's based at Hill Air Force.
Yes.
And what makes this unique is, they train here all the time, and you see the F-35 in the skies all the time. This is, as you see her flying, basically inverted. Pretty cool stuff. But, this is the first time that, they've got to perform in front of the Hill Air Force Base, hometown crowd.
Yeah.
It's a home game.
It is.
That's cool.
And it's like the playoffs. It's the home game, but it's the playoffs. And we're playing the Golden State Warriors, so it's a big game, and we're going to win.
Yeah, it's super cool. I mean, so a little history, the F-35 demo team used to be based out of Luke Air Force Base in Arizona, which is the command that I actually work in Air Education and Training Command. And they didn't move to Hill until 2019, of course, but then what happened in 2020, you had the pandemic, and so that Hill Air Show was canceled. So, I don't have the data on when's the last time the F-35 demo team flew actually at the Hill Air Show, but it's probably been a while. Yeah, so super cool.
Super cool. It is such a spectacle.
Yeah. We can't even keep up with it.
And you said these planes now are so sophisticated that in combat, if the pilot was to pass out or something went wrong, then the computer system in these planes can take over for a time.
Yeah, that was super incredible. I did not know that. Beowulf told us that this morning. She's giving us some nice afterburners today, for sure. She's letting us know I'm here. Just that sound alone, is that not? I'm intimidated. That's just, you
can feel it.
But inspired at the same time. It's so cool.
What are these planes used for?
Basically, air-to-air dominance.
Oh, I love how you worded that. Air-to-air dominance.
Because ultimately, at the end of the day, right? If we're in combat, we want to dominate the adversary, and that's what these planes are designed for. Nobody in the world wants to take on an F-22 Raptor or an F-35. You just don't want to do it. It's going to be a bad day.
Yeah.
And that's what these planes are built for. It's pretty awesome to see it up close and personal. And again, this is, defending America is not a cheap proposition in terms of, it's a lot to fund America's military. So, showing the American taxpayer, what that money is used for, that's also part of the reason that we have these air shows.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I think we've seen over the last couple of months, really since what's been happening overseas is how important it is to have an incredible defense system in place.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we live in today's national security environment is probably as dynamic and, you know, contentious as it's ever been. And, you know, the Air Force has to stay ready. And that's what these pilots do every day at Hill Air Force Base. When you see them here in the local area and they're flying around, they're staying ready for tomorrow's high-end fight against adversaries like China and Russia or whoever might be our adversaries. And, you know, that's why it's just such an honor for me to, you know, work for the Air Force, but also just incredible that we get to share it with, you know, everybody that lives here. So she's just went by with the slow pass, and now she's going to go to a vertical climb.
Okay, and you know, here's the thing. This is probably the first time many of these people have ever seen in person an F-35.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it might be my first time as well. It is so incredible to see this.
Yeah, look at that shot. Great shot from our crew. Wow. It doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, it is a huge crew working to put this show on, and wow, what a show it is.
Oh, my gosh.
You talk about the readiness of the Air Force, and you know, when you find out you need to get ready is when it's too late. That's why the U.S. is always doing this. That's why this is such an operation, 24/7, 365 here at Hill Air Force Base.
Yeah, you can't just, you know, as you get another great look at Major Wolf really demonstrating the flexibility of that airplane.
Right.
I mean, look how agile that is. I mean, it's just poetry in motion right there.
It is.
I mean, you know, sometimes I'm like, oh, should I be talking? Because it's just so beautiful. Maybe I should just be quiet.
It is absolutely amazing to watch.
Yeah, it really is. But, you know, you talked about the readiness. Readiness is not just something you can do between 9 and 5, you know, every day. Like, it requires nights. It requires weekends. You know, it requires deployments away from home by the men and women who work across the Department of Defense to ensure, you know, America's national security interest. And so here we see the P-51 Mustang and the F-35 joining forces, the P-51 from the Korean War era. That was
state of the art at the time, wasn't it?
It really was.
Yeah.
It really was. And it's still cool to see these planes flying. Fun fact, the pilot, Steve Hinton Jr., that's flying the P-51 Mustang today there with Major Wolf, his dad actually flew the P-51 in the Super Bowl flyover that Major Wolf took part in back in February.
Oh,
so
wow.
Kind of a cool fun fact there. So, yeah, the Hinton family, long time on the air show circuit.
That's so fun.
And flying the, you know, American heritage classics there, like the P-51 Mustang. And that really shows you, I mean, look, and in its day, the P-51 was just a beautiful state-of-the-art aircraft, but look how far we've come now with the 5th-generation aircraft. Look at that.
Look at that.
Oh, unbelievable. I mean, really. I mean, I just about stood up and saluted right there. So,
no, it's so true. No, it is so true.
I mean, that was awesome. And look at that. I mean, that's Air Force history right there.
That is. And just the commitment to excellence is so evident as we're watching these planes fly today.
Yeah, you know, this is the Air Force's 75th anniversary year. You know, we talk about our theme for this year's air show is innovate, accelerate, and thrive, the Air Force at 75. And that's what it is, right? I mean, it takes innovation. It takes that acceleration mindset. Like, hey, we need to make sure that we stay ahead of our adversaries. Mm-hmm. And that's what you see there with that particular aircraft. You know, otherwise we'd still be flying the P-51s.
You're right.
But it takes that F-35 that you see right there to win tomorrow's fight.
Yep.
And today's.
And the greatest minds.
Yep. And that's why the Air Force needs you. So if if you're passionate about aviation and you have a background in science, engineering, technology, etc., mathematics, you know, we need you, and you should consider it. And we're actually going to have a guest a little bit later, Don Jessen from the Air Logistics Complex here, who's going to talk about ways that you can actually serve your country, and you don't even necessarily have to, enlist in the Air Force to do it. You can actually work as a civilian for the Air Force as well. So I can't wait to talk to Don as well.
No, that's one thing I didn't know. I thought, you're all in, but you're not in at all. And so that is actually really a great opportunity and a great way to serve the country and make a good living doing so.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't know that there is a ton of civil service opportunities from a civilian perspective to serve with the United States Air Force. It's part of the total force concept. I'm a civilian. I wore the uniform, but now work for the Air Force as a civilian. And civilians, in a lot of ways, really provide that foundational of continuity, as airmen rotate in and out, as you get another great shot of the P-51 Mustang there flying with the F-35 Lightning II, the Heritage Flight Formation 2-ship there. Just gorgeous. Not a cloud in the sky.
Oh, yeah, it's so perfect.
Yeah. So.
And last weekend, the weather was garbage.
Oh.
It was so bad. And I was thinking last weekend, it's good that we got another week before we have the air show. It was rainy, it was cold, it was just not the greatest.
No such problems today in Utah. So
how rewarding is a position with the Air Force?
Yeah, it's been the honor of my lifetime. I mean, I think for anybody who wears the uniform or even civilians that serve, knowing that you're contributing to the greatest team that you'll ever be on, there's just something about it. You hear that national anthem or you see this demonstration of air power. It really just reminds you how lucky you are and how privileged you are to help in the defense of this great nation.
Yeah, I love going into the next 2 weeks with the 4th of July right around the corner, because I always feel like we're just so desperate for that unity, for that patriotism. And I mean, it's a fun time of year to really focus on that and be part of this show this weekend, which just really sets the stage.
And the crowd at Centerline just got a great flyby. That was awesome. Just awesome. That was incredible.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah, and so, I mean, wow. And, typically the F-30, to me, that's a headline act by itself, but we still have...
Which is crazy that's kind of like the opening act, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of?
Well, they're before the Thunderbirds, but obviously the United States Air Force Aerial Demonstration Squadron of Thunderbirds, they've been delighting crowds around the world for decades now, and so that's just so impressive. A 6-ship formation. I can't wait to watch that. And what's great about it is they have that ground show that we're going to see. That it's about 140 person unit, and to make that Thunderbirds mission go, total team effort. But, But what the crowd will see is just basically the end result of a lot of hard work.
Yeah, isn't that so true? And, look. Yes, here it comes, just right overhead.
Yep.
There is no shortage of entertainment here today.
Yep. They came up the backside there. And you got to kind of watch for that with the Thunderbirds. I heard they like to be sneaky.
Oh, they do. They like to be sneaky.
Yeah, so they're going to, they might catch you unawares. So just FYI, I warned you.
Oh, yes, I consider myself warned. Right.
Look at that. Oh, man. What a beauty. And you know what? I think maybe this Hill community and Ogden community in particular, pretty spoiled, because you can walk out your back door and kind of see this a lot.
No, it is so true.
Pretty lucky.
And look at that mountain background. It doesn't get better than that, does it?
Yeah,
that
so
is just very cool.
I was actually out here in February when we did the Super Bowl broadcast when Major Wolf flew in the Super Bowl formation flyover, and it was snow on the backdrop, and I was like, oh my God, this is the most beautiful thing. And I was like, it can't get any better than this. And then I got here actually 2 days ago. going vertical again.
Yep.
But that backdrop that you mentioned I was just like, oh my God, it's just
stunning.
as incredible in the
stunning,
summer.
Isn't it?
I mean, I live in Texas. There's not really the Wasatch Mountains to speak of.
We take them for granted. We forget how amazing that backdrop is.
Yeah.
That once in a while we get those views just like we saw, and it's an amazing place to live.
Yeah, so the F-35 looks like she's bringing out her land, as you see the replay here of the P-51 passover with the F-35. But Major Wolf's getting ready to come in for the landing. She's got her landing gear down, so she's going to be coming down. So as a reminder, you can still make it out, but you're starting to run out of time there. Look at that.
So is this plane still used, or is it just kind of a show plane?
Yeah.
Nostalgic?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's really great is the organizations that work to keep these historic warbird planes up in the air and flying, because, it's not easy to find replacement parts for a Korean-era airplane.
It's true.
So, there's a lot of great people and organizations that spend a lot of time, energy, and effort, like Steve Hinton and his father, to make sure that the American public still gets that sense of nostalgia and gets to see these historic warbirds in action.
It is very fun to watch that. And really, it's kind of the past and the present going into the future when you watch that right next to the F-35.
Yeah.
Where we've been, where we are, and no doubt where we're still going as far as aviation goes.
And really, you think about it, like for the next generation of airmen and guardians who might be here at the air show, what might they be flying in 20 years from now, when they join the Air Force? So pretty cool.
And I thought that was interesting when you talk about the F-35, how really she's showcasing some of the fun stuff today, because if she were in a combat situation, she's not going to be doing the fun tricks. She's going to be, defending and protecting the country. So it's fun that we get to see that side of that flight today.
Yeah. And you get a good look at the crowd. I don't know how much standing room is available that's left, right?
Right.
As she's touched down there.
Oh yeah, she's touched down, and we are right on the front side. Really, the bleachers are set up. We have a lot of people. Now, the great thing about this is you get a good view, regardless of if you're a shorty like me, because most of it's in the air. So that's really fun to watch. Yeah, so there she has just landed.
What do they say? Not a bad seat in the house.
Yeah, it's true.
That's for sure.
So about an 18-minute flight from her.
Yeah.
Showing us some of the cool things that just amazing piece of machinery can do.
Yeah, so incredible stuff. She's actually going to taxi, and she parks like right over here. So we're going to hear. When she parks. So pretty cool stuff here. So I know you grew up around here, come to a lot of air shows, but what do you think of this view so far?
No, it's amazing. Now, I will tell you, the thing I was most nervous about today was being hot. Because as a kid, I remember it was so hot, like my dad and my brother, they were just so into all of this. And I remember thinking, okay, we're going to go, we're going to be sunburned, we're going to be all of this. The great thing is you can bring plenty of water. I know they have water refill stations here as well. And the weather is not that hot today. Granted, we're in the shade, but we're in the 80s. And this is a great way to spend a Saturday. And what has been so amazing, what a service to the community that a huge event like this, world-class, really, this is a world-class facility, world-class pilots giving us an amazing show, free to the public. We've been expecting 250,000 to 500,000 people. We think that we've probably hit far beyond that already this weekend, and you can see why.
You just wonder, is there a guy at the gate with like that, that old school clicker?
Yeah.
He's got to be tired by now, right?
Yes, definitely.
When do you just give up?
Right. And really, the entire community, you could see this from all over. Fun to watch. And as I was getting off the freeway driving in, I thought, wow, if I wasn't coming here today, I would try to find a way to get here, because you saw the planes and kind of the free fall. It's just like, oh, okay, that's going to be a super cool show.
Yeah, so the T-33 is getting ready to queue up, to take off. We've still got a few acts. The Thunderbirds will be setting up around 3:30. And they are scheduled right now for a 3:35 start of their show, and that'll last about 45 minutes
Oh,
or
wow.
so.
Wow.
So you're going to be in for a treat for that air show. As that's a good-looking airplane too. Again, another older airplane.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so very cool. It's about to take off. I believe that's the T-33, as there's the P-51 as it taxis in from its flight with the F-35.
And there, of course,
Oh,
F-35. Yeah.
I mean, that just looks cool.
It
I mean,
does.
I know I've said that like 5 times,
No,
but
it
I just
does.
can't keep. I got to keep saying it because, I mean, and I see the F-35 a lot, and I'm
and it
still
just-
every time I'm like, oh, that's a good-looking airplane.
Yeah, it just has not lost the novelty, I'm sure.
No, not
Which,
at all.
you know, I bet if you asked her, how much do you love your job, she would say it beats working for a living.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the passion shone through this morning when we had the chance to spend some time with her. And I think she was on the KSL noon show yesterday.
Yeah.
With Shira and Dan Spindle were out here. And so, you know, she got to spend some time with them as well. So very cool.
And, you know, the sense of camaraderie is so amazing because even, you know, the crew that's helping her land, I mean, you really can see that sense of pride from the top to the bottom and everyone that is involved in this production.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you know, they, like anything else, right? It takes a village. You know, I always equate to sports. I'm a sports guy.
Right.
You know, you got to have the trainers. You got to have the equipment room guy. You got to have, you know, everybody in the front office. It's the same way in the Air Force. You got to have the maintainers. You got to have, you know, the people who are doing, you know, fuel and
Right.
ammo and just even the security forces crew at the gate. Imagine their job today to make sure the public can come in today.
Yeah.
It just takes an entire team of airmen and guardians to make this mission happen.
Yes, maximizing their role. We are miking up someone to get on set right now.
Yeah, so it's going to be Don Jessen. Yeah, so there it is. We're going to pull up his bio here. We're so glad you could join us.
Yes, so Don Jessen is the Chief of Business Operations. The Air Ogden Logistics Complex employs more than 8,100 military, civilian, and contact personnel here at Hill Air Force Base in 155 different job series. Are you thinking, yes, I knew that. That's why I'm always so busy. The majority of the employees are federal civilian employees and not in uniform. They are military service members, however. Jobs range from supply chain, finance, manpower, production, and software, to name a few. So here is Mr. Don Jessen, who is going to talk about how those civilian employees are hired in the Ogden ALC. Thank you so much for being here today.
Well, thank you for having me. And isn't this beautiful? I'm a little distracted with everything going on in the background. It's awesome to be here.
Yeah, we were just talking about, like, how spoiled you must kind of be because you probably see an F-35 every day, but it's incredible every single time.
Oh, it never gets old. It really never gets old. But thanks for that introduction. So I'm glad to talk about hiring. That's one of the things we do here. And we're really looking for that skilled labor workforce.
And what does that mean?
So we do a lot of the repair, maintenance, and overhaul. It takes a lot to keep these airplanes flying. So we've got, as you mentioned, a little over 8,000 employees. Most of those are civilians. Some of the careers that we're really focusing on right now will be our skilled labor, like aircraft mechanics, sheet metal workers, low observable coatings, machinists. That skilled labor, we're really looking for skilled labor, and then we're always looking for science and engineers. Engineers in, mechanical engineers, structural engineers, our software engineers, and cybersecurity professionals. It really takes a team effort to keep